with Tim Black.
And we don't know everything that Elon Musk has done with his high technology ass. Mm-hmm. We don't know what he's being accused of by some, as it may relate to the election. But we're not going to give up.
Congresswoman Maxine Waters is urging Democrats to hit the streets and fight back against Trump. But her remarks have MAGA accusing her of fomenting violence. Listen.
I'm worried that Trump is on the edge of creating a civil war. He alluded to it more than once. He alluded to the fact that if he did not get reelected, that there could be a civil war. Now, this president is putting us in a position where hungry people are going to be on the street, where nonprofits who were waiting for their checks are not going to get them. When that happens, what does Trump expect? Oh, I believe he expects violence. I believe he expects confrontation. I believe he's working toward a civil war. We're not going to get goaded. We're not going to get tricked into that. We're going to continue to do our work.
That's what you think it is, Johnson? You think you think that it's a trick to get you into a civil war? And if there's going to be a civil war, it's going to be poor people waking up and seeing what's happening with these rich fools. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be that type of civil war. Let's see what this panel talking about, though. Let me know what you think in the comment section, y'all.
So that has some on the MAGA wing of the country pretty upset. But I don't know, it seems to me pretty clear at the end.
The MAGA wing of the country. I'm not MAGA, and I think it's kind of silly to say. Because what's the basis of the Civil War? Black people and white people? Is that what we're talking about? What's the Civil War over? Now, I remember when Trump said, at least I remember one occasion, he was talking about his supporters, I thought. He was talking about the rest of the country, like this the fact that it's like a culture war, I would say, in a direction of the country where you want the country to go. But what would be the basis of the war? I need clarity. And those little clips that you gratuitously clipped, I don't know, to show her in a certain light. And I saw the flashing. I don't know what she was really talking about. But civil war based on what? Because I don't know anybody. I mean, what? Because Juneteenth, what? What are you talking about? Black Lives Matter sign in the street in D.C. being picked up? Who cares? Like, these are dumb things. Having it there didn't mean anything, and picking it up doesn't mean anything. Like, what are you talking about? It didn't save anybody's life. It didn't put any food on anyone's table. It didn't save anyone any type of heartache. It didn't open a school. It didn't provide shoes for needy kids. Having that shit on the ground did nothing. But that's all I've been hearing about coming out of D.C. lately about this. Well, they did this. These are the most symbolic losers you ever want to run across. Bunch of highly educated fools worried about symbolism. That's because they don't have time they don't have other issues in their life to really be concerned about. They can argue and be upset and be gaslit and clutch pearls and head on fire running down the street over paint on a street. Now, I've been on the record saying Derek Chauvin is where his ass need to be. So don't come at me with the goofy shit. You got people that watch, that always look for something they try to say, trying to put me in the Tim Scott category just because you can't make it. But what I'm saying is, it's a certain type of elitist moron that wants to focus on something dumb like that was symbolic to begin with. Are we going to grow up and look for tangible issues, tangible things that impact us? Can we do that? I'm sorry. Let's keep going, Johnson. You might not even care about the BLM paint on the street. But it's just something I've been hearing people talk a lot about, like, we upset, we're angry. Huh? All the gentrification in D.C., all the problems in D.C., and that's what you're complaining about? Man, you are lucky if you got time, you got room in your life to complain about paint on a street. George Floyd ain't even from D.C. What are you talking about? Breonna Taylor's not from D.C. What are you even talking about?
There, she said, we're not going to go into that territory. So.
Why bring it up? I mean, she's hardly the first Democrat to bring it up. Hakeem Jeffries said earlier this year, we're going to fight in the streets. Anna Presley, Jasmine Crockett, other members of the Democratic conference have continuously alluded to violence because they're so angry about the Trump agenda.
I think it's unfair to say that they're alluding to violence. When Jeffries was saying that, he was talking about going to the streets in protest.
He said
which
fight
is
in the streets.
It's a political fight.
That's not what.
I remember when Jasmine Crockett and Marjorie Taylor Greene got into an argument. She said, we can go outside. And everybody said she was talking about fighting. And all she said is we can go outside. So now you're saying Maxine say fight, or Hakeem Jeffries says we can fight in the street. And you're like, nah, that's not what he means. He doesn't mean really fight. He means, fight politically, in the streets, protests. Oh, well, maybe Marjorie Taylor Greene might have a conversation. But you couldn't say that because, because you're a sellout if you say that. As if Marjorie Taylor Greene really wanted to beat somebody up. I think she'd be at the gym a lot, though. Maybe she did. I don't know. But see what I'm saying, guys? Maybe Marjorie Taylor Greene did want to talk about fighting. But my point is, if you're going to say Marjorie meant fight, when she said after Jasmine Crockett told her she was badly built, after she got roasted by Jasmine Crockett, okay? When she said we go outside, there was a whole slew of Democrats saying Marjorie Taylor Greene threatened bodily harm on a congressperson. But Hakeem Jeffries said fight in the street. Maxine Waters, that ain't her first time. She been saying shit like that. That's actually tame for Maxine. Maxine was way worse the first time Trump got elected. Go up and find them in the streets and get in their faces and yell at them and get on them. She was losing her mind. That's when they start calling them Mad Max.
Let's stay the course. Let's make sure we show up wherever we have to show up. And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
Wow, wow, wow. Look at this crowd. Elon Musk, where are you? Bring your ass over here so you can see who's here and what we're doing. We're not afraid of you. We know that you are the co-president now. Look them in the eye. Come on, hold your face up. Look at him. Let him see you. This is him. Look at it. What's your name? Tell us your name. Give me that ID again.
Giving you the ID, I showed it to you.
So what?
I showed you the ID.
You do what?
I showed you the ID.
Could you let me see the ID again? Huh?
No.
No? Will someone else ask him for the ID?
This is sweet Maxine right here, man. This is with sugar on it. That's nothing compared to what she was saying back in 2015, I think it was. She was outside of the rallies and go and get them in the streets. If you see them at a store, in a restaurant, you go up to them and you get on them. You get them, you shout them down. You get. Like, Maxine, calm down, sister. Before you be in the upper room now. Calm down. Come on. Downshift. This will be the last speech you give, sister, and you go get them. And Democrats made excuses for it, too. They're good at excuses.
That's clearly not the concept.
You can defend it,
said.
But if Trump uses the word fight, everyone loses their
I want to
minds.
remind you both that it was...
That was a good one. It's true. And Trump said, fight, fight, fight. What do you mean by fight? Then he got shot in the ear. They're like, fight, fight, fight. They're like, what's he mean by fight? What's he trying to say? He wants a civil war. He said fight. See, that's what I'm saying, man. Just I just get tired of the hypocrisy. And both sides are hypocritical as hell. Don't get it twisted. Both parties suck. I am not here to make you be a Republican. I want black people to become free agents. Because I'm not trying to tell black Americans to become Republicans. That's just what my detractors say. Because they don't have honest rebuttal to my arguments. What I'm saying is we need to become free agents. And a free agent, this is what I mean. Every election, we look at either side or whoever's running and we go, so you want me to vote for you, huh? What you gonna do for my community in these areas? Oh, really? Oh, interesting. Okay, hold that thought. Excuse me. Hello. You want my vote? Okay. Well, what are you gonna do in these three areas or whatever? What are you gonna do for my community in these three areas? Hear them out. Oh, interesting. Okay. And then you let it swirl around in your head. You decide which one had the better plan. And if neither one of them had a better plan, then you know what you can do. Sit your ass on the couch. Or start a new party, right? Because there's other people going to be running. Maybe you invest in another party. Help them get their numbers up. And that's the reason why people demonize that talk, because those people that demonize it are operatives or goofies. So you're the operative, that your job is to be against anybody talking about independence on the Democratic Party. How dare you talk about being your own person, making your own mind up? We like the groupthink, where we control what you do. And Al Sharpton gets a cut. And Roland Martin gets a cut. Or they're goofy. They mind controlled into thinking that that's voting for the same party for the last 50 years and somehow helped us when it hasn't.
You can defend it, but if Trump...
Okay, so what's going to happen now is they're going to move in this conversation to about what's happening with the Republicans in the town halls. And I don't know if you saw this, but the Republicans have been getting the business, Johnson. Now, I don't know who these people are at these town halls. I can't confirm, right? Ain't nobody carding the people in the town hall to find out who they really are. Now, we all know the Democrats are very much prone to busting in people. But I don't know if that's what's happening. But it does appear that there are people showing up at Republican events showing all their backside. I can't believe I said backside. But yeah, they're showing out, they're interrupting, they're calling out, they're getting loud. One guy had to be removed.
Do your job that you were sent there to do. Yeah. You represent us all.
Thank you.
That's nothing to say.
Thank you for that feedback.
Lying. I'm a veteran. You don't give a fuck about me.
To be clear,
He was a veteran. I thought he had a PTSD moment. He went buck wild. Said Trump is trying to hurt veterans. He just lost his mind. They had to get him removed from the town hall. So that's what they're about to talk about. Let's do this.
Uses the word fight. Everyone loses
I
their
want to
minds.
remind you both that it was
reason that y'all are all sitting here today.
I'm not arguing they're not angry. I'm just telling you mobs like this are not representative of overall congressional
Are you really
districts.
calling them mobs?
Did you see the video?
No.
Looks like a mob to me.
Okay, all right. Are you going to call them mobs for doing their democratic duty
If you
and
had to
showing
get
up in a
thrown-
town
if you
hall
had to get thrown
and
out of
yelling
something,
at their
you're a mob.
elected official?
If
They
you
can
get
yell
thrown
how
out,
dare
that's
you
just a
have
veteran.
Emotions and care. How dare these voters have emotions?
I don't care if they have emotions, but no one here at this table can tell me what the voter registration breakdown in that room was. And I'm telling you, it's not representative of the district.
But it's also counterproductive.
People can show up if they want to show up.
I agree.
Up.
I'm not saying-
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Yeah, I'm not saying like, yo, People that show up at the events and they carry on, that's the cost of doing business. It's just what happens. It's what happens, Johnson. And yeah, you should be able to work through it or whatever. Like, it is what it is. I'm hearing talk that they're not even letting there be dialogue back and forth about what the concerns or what the questions are. And if that's the case, you just had their asses removed. What else can you do? I support people at town halls voicing their opinion because you have no way of knowing. Now, if you got evidence that the DNC is going on Craigslist or whatever, Facebook groups or whatever, and paying people to come out and disrupt events, release it. That'd be great. But until that said time, I support people coming out to town halls and showing, and having their say. You gotta let that happen. Perfect. You made it to the end of the video. I appreciate you. Now, Google thinks this next video is going to be perfect for you. It's right up your alley. So click the next video, watch that with me, and let's keep this politics going. You're built for this.